Today we were reminded out here that agriculture is about the only industry in the world where everything they buy is at retail and everything they sell is at wholesale. So you might think they'd be quaking in their boots about talk of trade wars and tariffs, but they're not. For years, Canada has restricted the amount of dairy products that can come in from the U.S. in order to protect their own dairy industry. And President Trump's not the only one who's railed about this. Here's Senator Chuck Schumer, a Democrat, talking about getting tough with Canada a few years ago.
And if we were to say we're considering putting a law that says auto parts for cars sold in the U.S. couldn't be made in Canada, that's just an example. That's a pretty severe example. They'd listen pretty clearly.
Canada tariffs are kind of an interesting conversation. Dairy specifically has a lot of language and law already written about how products can and cannot enter Canada.
For example, you may have heard lately that Canada imposes tariffs of up to 300% on U.S. dairy products, but that's only when it exceeds the permitted quota of imports, and the thing is
We've never reached that amount. Exactly. I think some of the bigger tariffs that are more intimidating going on out there is this conversation about electric, because we do use quite a bit of electric to be able to run a dairy farm, fans and all the rest of it. The other one is the steel side of the conversation. If we've got tariffs on steel and someone's got to buy equipment, how are you going to build that equipment? It's all made from steel. Yeah. So those are the ones that I do believe are large ticket items that are going to be intimidating for the industry.
Another concern for farmers may be tariffs on potash used to produce fertilizer, but many have already purchased supplies for the coming year. More than tariffs, she's concerned about any cuts to the Agriculture Department, which might impact food safety.
And the federal research dollars that we are going to be losing in our systems are something that needs to be acknowledged and needs to be confronted.
But when it comes to talk about trade wars and tariffs putting dairy farms like this out of business,
dairy is not going to be really impacted. To be brutally honest, we've been in the business for over 70 years, and we are planning to be here for the next 70.
On your side in Leroy, Genesee County, Dave McKinley, Channel 2 News.